Well, hello there. My name is Susan Hamilton, and you're watching OffBeat Business TV or listening to the OBBM Network podcast or OBBM Radio. So, we're speaking to 80 to 85% of American micro to small business that tend to be family owned businesses of 9 employees or less. That means you're building your business while you're raising your kids, you're taking care of your parents. You probably have a veteran active duty law enforcement officer, EMT, in your family or workspace, and 30 to 50% of you have an addict in your family or workspace. We're here for you, bringing you resources that are going to help you grow your business or help you improve your business on some level. Today, I'm very excited to bring Jacqueline Johnson to the show. Jacqueline Johnson is with Adventure and Victory, and I've known Jacqueline for many years. Thank you so much for being with us today, Jacqueline.
I'm so excited to be with you on today, Susan. It is such a pleasure.
You're listening to the OffBeat Business Show, rebuilding American business influence locally, nationally, and abroad, bringing you experienced insight for a strong, influential brand and successful life in business. Here's your host, Susan Hamilton.
Well, what you're doing, I think, is a great example, and I couldn't wait to share you with the business community because of the connections it's taken you a very long time to make. A lot of valuable connections in the community are necessary for you to do the work that you do with women in the community. A lot of people may not realize that we've got a huge problem with second chance hires. We've got problems with people with significant backgrounds that maybe have a hard time finding employment, or maybe that have just been outside of the workplace for a while, right, and wondering where they fit in. The work that you're doing with these women to help them build who they are with life skills and all of the connections that they need, that's not free, that's not inexpensive. That it takes a lot of time and resources for you to do what you do. And you've managed to have some great relationships with businesses in the community that have allowed you to continue. And we are coming right up on that time when backpacks are normally the thing you're working on this time of year. So tell me where Adventure and Victory is right now.
Oh my goodness, Susan, that is such a good question right now. You know, with all that is going on in our community with COVID-19, where are we? We are on the internet.
Yeah.
We are doing a lot of our services, our life skill coaching, our training, all has just shifted. You're talking about shifting and having to pivot. Where are we right now? We are in a stage, a season of just growing. I'm talking about growing like I didn't know that the shift could cause such an advancement, but it has. So what we are doing with Adventure and Victory, we're giving women the unique training from character building, personal development. It is like courageous.
It is courageous, and I love that word, actually, courageous, because what I see when I work with these women and I get to volunteer side by side with them every once in a while, and I really enjoy that relationship with you. But I see hopeful women. I see women that can't wait to tell me that they came from broken experiences, whatever that might be. Even if it's just from, I didn't believe in myself before. I didn't believe that I could really succeed at anything before, for whatever reason that people have. You're able to work with them and help them really dig out that gold. I love that. I love that on the OBBM network as well. I think we share that.
Yes.
That desire in the community to go, okay, where is the gold and how do we make that work and how do we build those relationships so that they're successful?
You know, it's so phenomenal working with women, helping them to gain the confidence that they need through, I'm talking about interpersonal training and helping them relate with presentation skills and critical thinking. It's so phenomenal seeing them overcome setbacks and challenges and failures and bring themselves into a place where they sharpen their irons, I call it, and begin to now be visible. I'm talking about giving women a voice that didn't have one at first. Women who didn't see their value, but when they walk in the room, they bring so much value to a table, and seeing them come alive
Yeah.
and saying, "Oh my God," through the presentation skills, which is needed. I'm talking about so many places and companies. They need women who have presentation skills, who can get in front of the room and who can sell themselves, tell about themselves. And our storyboard from crafting and sharing your story, I love helping them with.
And that's just one area. I love that. You're right. You help them actually talk about their life in a way that is productive and can help them see the next steps. Because if you can't really look at it and understand what's happened and where you are in that story,
Yes.
it's real hard to get to the next place. And that's a talent that you have. And I'll say that for any woman on any level, learning how to own that space and have be able to present. It's not necessarily presentation skills on all levels, but if you're in the workspace, you do need to know how to voice your opinion articulately, how to have a conversation, how to have the confidence in the front of the room that causes the influence to happen. Right? I mean, otherwise it's meaningless.
Ooh.
So how do you do that? And I've watched these women, and of all the areas. I mean, accountants that you are bringing through the program. You're bringing people through the program that are speaking and teaching and mentoring other women. They learn their life skills and their job skills, and they turn around and say, you know what, I'm going to bring someone else through this pipeline also. And what you've done is you've managed to create a workforce solution that a lot of local businesses don't even know exists.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's nothing like seeing the women come through the program, and now they have started their own for-profit business, their own nonprofits, their own printing company. Now they're writing the books and editing the books, and it is simply amazing seeing them become the leaders that they are and going into the marketplace and becoming entrepreneurs. Susan, it gives me great joy, amazing. I'm talking about 25 years of doing this, but just looking at them and seeing what it does for their household and for their children. Single parents mark the point of which they are vulnerable to so many things.
Yeah.
And without the skills and the training, I can't tell you how they wouldn't be able to produce and to be able to multiply and to be able to become self-sufficient without the skills, the tools, and the techniques that they're getting right here at Adventure and Victory.
It's wonderful. I mean, how many backpacks are you up to now every year that you are providing for these kids?
Well, we normally do 300 backpacks a year at our location. With this going on right now, we are planning a drive-by. So this season will be a drive-by, so we'll see how it goes. But we are knocking on doors right now for sponsors and business owners.
So what goes in these backpacks?
Oh, all the school supply. So we do everything from the first grade to we all the way up to we work with all the way up to the 10th graders. And everything that they need is in those backpacks.
That's
so
fabulous.
The whole kits from crayons, scissors, glue sticks, rulers.
Just everything on the list.
Just everything on the list.
Yeah.
Don't get me to start trying to. It's been a long time.
Right?
It's been a long time since I've been in school,
Right.
but I tell you, we get it done with the
So
teachers' help.
you work right with the ISD.
I do. KB Polk. I went to school there,
Yeah.
and that's the school that we adapt and we give back to every year. That's been one of our schools, and we work with the council. She already helps us identify with the children that are already needing the backpacks and the school supply. And it's a great team. You know, teamwork, I tell you all the
I
time.
know,
makes
right?
the dream
Makes
work.
the dream work.
Well, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Janet makes the dream work at KB Polk in our relationship. We're giving back to the children right there in the inner city. And it's in the Lovefield area, but it's been a blessing. Giving back, especially where you attended school.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun. So that's not the only outreach that you're doing, because I've had the pleasure of supporting what you do every holiday season, every Christmas season, to make sure that you've done your part and caused us to do our part. I love that about it, because with the community and the team that's working, everyone gets the joy of being a part of something bigger. And you take a look in the community and go, okay, it's time to get serious. We got a list to fill. And so how many toys did you give away for the toy drive this past 2019? Do you remember?
We did around 700, and so our goal is a lot of times is 1,000 children. This year we're back planning to do 1,000, but last year we did over 700 single parents raising their children along toys, and it was because our partners, it was because of individuals, it was because of the community.
Right.
That helped us pull this off. We couldn't do it without the community.
Oh, my
we couldn't do
goodness.
it without the business owners, our partners. We would have never made it.
It was an amazing time to see all the people that come through. So many didn't even know how to speak English.
Yeah.
And you go to the trouble to make sure that there are bilingual people serving so that no one has to feel like they can't communicate.
Can I tell you what makes Adventure and Victory so unique?
Oh, you tell me, please.
Is our volunteers.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, our volunteers and our partners, they make Adventure and Victory so unique. So when you say that we have the bilingual instructors and volunteers there, they are there and they have been there for some time. We have some that's been there for 15 years. Every year they already say, hey, count me in. And they come in and they make a difference, but it's the giving back and the love that we see one to another with individuals who care about their community and who sign up and say, I can make the difference, and that they want to. But they come in and they love on those babies, and I just love that. I love how the volunteers just come together and work together. And I'm talking about, it's like a machine. It's a system.
It is like a machine. It is like a machine, and it's been so much fun to work shoulder to shoulder and get to know your women that I'm proud to call my friends. We've had a wonderful relationship there, and I'm so grateful. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg of how you are supporting the DFW area. So let's hear from a few of our sponsors. And friends, when we get back, you're going to hear more from Jacqueline Johnson and find out how you can plug into Adventure and Victory.
At Work Suites, get back to work your way. Business addresses, co-working, executive office suites. We really thrive on helping small businesses expand their horizons from simply working out of their home. What's really nice is we're flexible with our terms. We don't require you to sign a lease with us, go month to month, or stay a couple years. You may only need a part-time space. You'll have a full kitchen, covered garage access. This is the ideal way to work through the transition in your business and get you up to speed quickly. Private offices have dedicated Wi-Fi, furniture, 24/7 access. Call 888-445-9675 and check us out at worksuites.com to schedule your tour. You're going to love it here. 888-445-9675.
And we're back. My name is Susan Hamilton. I'm here with Jacqueline Johnson. We're on OffBeat Business TV, or you're listening to the OBBM radio or listening on the OBBM Network podcast. And we're excited about what Jacqueline Johnson and Adventure and Victory are doing in the DFW business community. Because, yeah, friends, outreach and business are hand in hand. That just doesn't get done without a very robust community effort, especially on the part of business owners. And one of the things I like to point out during this period of time that we've been in is all the reasons why we cannot discount the importance of business. We cannot discount the importance of profitable business, because it's not just about, is this business shutting down out of care for the community? No, are you open because of the care for the community? Because what they need is to see all of the different ways that business works, right? Because we are the ones that employ. And we are the ones willing to look at disadvantaged communities and go, you know what, I'd like to help. I'd like to find a position in my organization for someone that's coming through Adventure and Victory. Not only that, but when we've got a surplus of profits, where are we spending them? to support organizations like yours that are doing the groundwork and making sure that the volunteers are being cared for, so that the work can get done. I mean, it requires a location. It requires logistics. We don't just wiggle our nose, rub a genie, and pray and spray and hope it gets done. We trust our God, we are
Yes.
grateful for that. But He gave us each other to get it all done. And so I'm excited about what you bring to the table, because when business owners understand that this is a resource that's right here, tangible, you're right there over off of Midway. You're not far. We can find you. And you can go to adventurevictory.org and learn more about the different outreaches and make sure that you're supporting Adventure Victory. OBBM Network certainly does, and we're proud to have that relationship with you over these years. It's been just a blessing and a gift to be a part of those things. Now our community needs so much more. Tell me something about some of the increased needs that you're seeing through this scenario. Anything right now that's specific to an increased need that you're seeing?
I tell you, finances.
Yeah.
Finances is always one, and I think right now, because a lot of attention has been on the food bank, some of our funding has been cut. So when you say an increase of what we're needing is finances, because the women still need the training, the tools, and the skills they need to be able to go out and find the work, to be able to raise their families. So we still need sponsorships to be able to provide for the women, for the scholarships that we have. And then volunteers. With the mask and with the shelter being in place, volunteers haven't been able to get out, and so we've been trying to get the training, because some of them are not technical and have the experience to go on and learn how to Zoom. So it's been a challenge.
So tell us a little bit about some of that training. Could you help us understand some of the things that you're helping them learn?
Well, basically, it's computer skills. It's basic, learning how to do the data entry, because you're constantly putting in the participants. You're constantly reaching out to the database and making the telephone calls and calling the parents. And so it's a lot of just skills that you need to be able to come in and help them with interpersonal skills, how it's so important to be able to communicate to get the job done. And if we can't communicate what it is that need to get done, so bringing them in and interpersonal skills has been so important, to say, hey, you have to have the ability to work together, and seeing them do that, letting the walls down and finding out, how do we get this project done and get the bottom line results that we want to get? Critical thinking, so coming in and the results is this, but how do we make this come together, and starting from the end and working backwards? So it's been very a little challenging.
Well, if it's not challenging, for me, it's not any fun anyway. I like a good challenge. You and I have another thing in common. We love to look into the community and go, what can we solve here?
Yes.
What needs a little help, and find out how we can do it. That's fun for me. I want to see that we're bringing those solutions to the table, and I really appreciate what you're doing, where you're at, working with your community and making sure we're aware of it, so that we can help you.
And parents who are calling, you have parents who are calling now because the children are home from school and saying, hey, I really need to get my child out of this house. To come up to do some volunteering. So again, just pulling on the community for sponsorships to continue to be able to work with the families that we work with, the ladies that we work with, to continue to do what we're doing. We love what we do right on Midway. It's a central location right there at Beltline and the tollway. So it makes it easy. But I'm telling you, I can't think what's been helping us the most is partners like you. OffBeat, that has been able, you spend time, you come in, you teach a class, you'll come in and bring your skills, your techniques, and even what we're doing here today, the training, to be able to help them to present and to help them to be able to do just what you are doing.
Well, I'll tell you, it's an honor, because we can make a difference in this community. We can help bring people up. We can get them where they need to go. All anyone ever needs is to be part of a chain one direction and the other, and we can get people exactly where they need to be. We can be the repair in the community. It's not going to happen if we cower back. It's
Right.
not going to happen if we decide that it's more important to draw inward. We have to find out where those resources are and be willing to go and be a part of those bigger things. You know, you've had some fabulous, when I first started really paying attention to just how deep you were going in the community, you know, you've really got some fabulous relationships, long-term, long-standing relationships with large organizations. Care to mention any of those?
Oh my God, I love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Chick-fil-A has been a backbone to helping us. Dallas Capital Bank has been tremendous, not only with giving sponsorships with the ladies, but also the whole team, the whole staff, volunteers.
Oh, wow.
So they
wow.
make the phone calls and everything. So
I think I've met a handful of them at your meetings.
yes,
Yeah.
and on the board we have Jennifer Saul at Dallas Capital, who's also on the board,
yes.
who was also hired, you know, one of our ladies. And I think she stayed with them for about 4 or 5 years. It's been a blessing and a privilege working with our partners in the community and with National Bank, Vertex, just a host of companies who have just come together. KB Polk again is our school, but they do so much as in hosting whenever we need the auditorium or whatever space. Our partners have been just, oh my God, terrific as in coming together and helping us make a difference. And I can't name them all. I tell
Right,
you,
right.
I start thinking, I'll be like, oh my goodness, you know.
Well, it's nice to give them a little shout out, though.
Oh,
and
I tell you.
yeah, we really appreciate that. And I think it's inspiring because we can all do such a fabulous job when we work together. And it takes all size businesses. I fully believe there's a seed time and harvest involved in everything that we do. And I
Yes.
think in the local business community, that means when you sow into the community with your resources of time or money or talent, that you reap a return on that. That it's quite valuable. It's not just reaping for you. It reaps for the rest of the community. I mean, those things multiply 100-fold back out to the community, and that's huge. Because right now we've got a lot of people that feel hopeless, don't we?
Yes.
We've got a lot of people that are feeling like they can't get the employees that they need to open. I am hearing people say that they'd like to hire. They're willing to hire from all types of backgrounds if they could just get people to show up and people to go. So before we leave, I just want to make it very clear to our audience out there that we have a resource for employment for people that are going through Jacqueline's training.
Yes.
That you've got help that would really very much like to prove themselves and have those first steps in the business community. And they're counting on us to help them with employment. What a beautiful, beautiful thing, Jacqueline.
Oh my goodness. It's awesome. And just wanting the community to know, take a look at us on Adventure and Victory and some of the testimonies that some of the women are making as into how Adventure and Victory has made a difference in their life and how they're now employable and that you can call on them and they can get the job done.
Right.
They can get the job done.
Yeah, they really can. So I'm just going to invite you to get over to adventurevictory.org. That's adventurevictory.org.
Adventure
And
Victory.
support Jacqueline Johnson, our local DFW advocate here out in the community, making a difference and really focused on women in the marketplace. So that's wonderful, Jacqueline. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, thank you so much, Susan, for having me. And thank you so much for working with me on what's coming up to build a bridge campaign.
Oh, that's as a matter of fact. Before we go, every single month we do prayer in the city, and that you have been sponsoring. I almost took off without mentioning how important that is, and that's for us. It's coming up tomorrow from the day of the shoot.
Yes.
But every single month you coordinate leaders in the community to not only pray about business, but pray over marriages and families and business relationships. Right? It's not just praying over money. It's ways, praying that we can communicate well.
Oh my God.
And, right? And praying for the protections in our community, praying down virus, praying down pandemic, praying down the miscommunication and the violence and the anger, and really setting an example for what it looks like to come together shoulder to shoulder, right?
Yes.
To get it done.
Shoulder to
Shoulder to shoulder. Changing the way this wall is built, right?
Yes. It's important that we have prayer in the city.
Yes.
We have to have someone interceding for our companies, for the business owners, the families, our leaders, from the White House to our house. We have to have someone praying from the schoolhouse to the courthouse. We have to have someone praying for our leaders. So prayer in the city is standing in the gap and praying for the city, the nation, the state. And it's nothing like right now praying for unity.
Absolutely. So where prayer in the city, can they look that up on Facebook and find it?
You can find it on Facebook, and we do it every third Saturday live in my Facebook page, Jacqueline Johnson, or eventualvictory.org. We go live.
And they start at 9 o'clock, 9:30?
We start at 10 o'clock.
Start
and
10.
We will be this Saturday.
Okay.
10 o'clock.
I know, but you always make me start at 9. See how she is. But get involved. Get coordinated with this group. You're going to love it. Until next time, you've been watching OffBeat Business TV. My name is Susan Hamilton. You've been listening to Jacqueline Johnson.
You've been listening to the OffBeat Business Show. Find our lineup, podcast, magazine, event calendar, and sponsor information, even our membership directory, all available on the OffBeat Business app or at offbeatbusiness.com. Download the OffBeat Business app today.